Hello and welcome back to Hook or Crook Crochet. So I recently showed you how to make this adorable crochet cheeseburger. We started out with the bun, and I thought I'd come back and talk a little bit more about some of the toppings. Of course, I've got the red onion, I've got some bacon, there's a tomato, there is lettuce, cheese is there, and then we've got the bun with the actual hamburger. So, what I thought I'd do is I would start with showing you how to make the lettuce. Super easy pattern. It's like more of a iceberg lettuce kind of pattern. So, let me show you how to make that. Here are the supplies I'm going to be using for my crochet lettuce. A little bit of white acrylic yarn, any kind of lime green or any green color that you have. Sometimes when I'm making lettuce like this and making a crochet salad, for example, I might use two different types of green to make the lettuce and the salad look a little more authentic. I've got a tapestry needle here. I've got a pair of scissors, and I've also got a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. Sometimes I do use a little bit smaller hook, particularly when I am making crochet play food. Depends on, if you want it to fit to a certain child's hands or dishes. This is one of my other favorites. This is a 2.75 millimeter crochet hook. Yeah, that's 2.75. So that's always a really great size. I'm going to go ahead and use this larger size, and hopefully it'll make it easy for you to see what I'm doing as I make my crochet lettuce. So let's get started. Starting off with the white yarn, I will make a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 13, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And on the back of each chain, the little dinosaur hump in the back, starting from the second chain from the hook, I am going to single crochet right back down that chain, and you should finish this with 12 stitches. Now, when using this pattern or any of my crochet play food patterns, I always recommend very inexpensive acrylic yarn, something that you can wash or kids can really play with it and enjoy it. Just I wouldn't recommend using, very expensive or high quality yarns for projects of this nature. So I'm getting down to that last stitch. And in the last stitch, I'm going to pull up 2 loops, and then I'm going to add in the lime green color into that last stitch, just like that, and pull. You can tuck in those ends a little bit later. You're going to turn, and you're going to go into that first stitch with a slip stitch. So I can pull everything really nice and tight here. I'm going to cut off the white, leaving a little bit of a tail, so I can sew that in a little bit later. Okay, so I've got my slip knot there, and in the next stitch, I'm going to do a single crochet, and in the next stitch, I'm going to do a single crochet, and in the same stitch, I'm going to do a half double crochet. Okay, And then the next stitch, I'm going to do a half double crochet and another half double crochet, and then move on to the next stitch where I'm going to do a half double crochet and a double crochet in the same stitch, and then another double crochet in that same stitch. So there's 3 stitches in that last stitch, a half double and 2 double crochet. And as I move up, I'm going to increase these stitches to give the look of the lettuce growing larger as it gets up to the top of the leaf. So in the next stitch, I'm going to do a double crochet, and then I'm going to do a treble or a triple crochet, and I'm going to do one more triple crochet. So I've got 3 stitches there. Now in this next, I'm going to go back down to a double, and in the same stitch, I'm going to do another double crochet, and then I'm going to actually do a treble or triple crochet. So as you know, when stitches aren't put in uniformly, they're kind of going to make this dip, and that's intentional. So it's going to make our lettuce look a little more authentic and have that dip there. Okay, so on to the next. We're going to do a double crochet and one more double crochet. And in these last 3 stitches, I'm going to go back down to 2 stitches in each. So let's finish one more double crochet here. Now in these next 2 stitches, I'm going to do 2 double crochet in each. Get some more yarn here. And 2 double crochet in the next. And then at the top here, I'm going to do 4 double crochet. Okay, so that's one side of the lettuce. And as you can see, it's starting to kind of curve and flip, and that is intentional. And when we go down the opposite side for the lettuce, we're going to repeat everything that we did on this side. So just repeat everything you did all the way down. So in those next 2 stitches, I'm going to do 2 double crochet. Oops. My yarn got a little snag there. 2 double crochet. And in the next, 2 double crochet. And you're just going to follow that same pattern all the way back down. So I'll meet you back down at the end. So I'm back down at the last stitch, and I'm going to do a slip stitch like I did on the other side. And I am simply going to cut my yarn and pull that through. And then I'm going to sew in all my ends. Just make sure when you're sewing in the white that you sew it up the rib of the lettuce so it won't show through. Now, if you don't want, as many of the curvy bits, you can make your stitches a little more uniform. I've never made one piece of lettuce that is identical. So you just want to make sure you start out with smaller stitches and then kind of grow them a lot in here so it'll give that curvy look, just like that. And sometimes I'll make them smaller. I won't start with 13 stitches. I might start with something less like this one. I might do at the top of this one, I did single crochet so the top of the lettuce would curve over a little bit. So this is one of those projects that you can be very, very creative and kind of do your own thing, create your own look, and it turns out very, very cute and authentic looking to me. So I'll stop there and give it a try making your crochet lettuce. Thanks for joining. Please like and subscribe and come back where I'm going to start making some of the other toppings on the cheeseburger. See you later.